we're just gonna start this shit live.
The only time I caught the Holy Ghost was when I was in church drinking.
Like, they're two dumb dudes. Welcome to the latest episode of Sarat and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast. I don't know. Seeing stand up, and this sucks because I'd hate to see somebody be a master of their craft and then go, I think I could do that. It's like, no, but it makes me want to try stand up. So when you see really good stand up, yeah, I randomly write down like bits, like comedy bits and shit like that. I don't know if they're any good, shit like that, but I'll just write them down. And I have one, the whole, I forget, but at the end, the whole punchline is my brother getting raped by a moose. But I just don't know if it's any good.
A moose? I think that's worse than the fucking.
It's a joke about gun control.
I think that's worse than the fucking elephant.
It's a joke about gun control, but I gotta work through it.
Hold on, wait. Just think about that for a minute. Out of all the animals to be mutilated by, a moose would have to fucking hurt because they're like an oversized horse. They can still run. They're still agile. They can headbutt the bullshit out of you,
bro.
And then they just take that booty like it's the booty warrior. It's just terrible,
dude. Moose are fucking huge.
Yes.
Is it mooses? It's not meese.
No. That's.
How do you do plural moose?
Look, ever said, please don't go into some fucking field trip. Like, oh, look at those Mises. No.
Oh shit! I was out hunting. I saw a couple meese.
No. Oh.
Shit.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I ain't teaching no wilderness classes anytime soon.
No. Like, over there we got the Mises. What the fuck is a Mies? It's like mice. Shit. You got the letter wrong. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, because you think the whole movie or throughout the whole movie, Oliver is obsessed with Felix.
Yeah,
he's in love with him, wants to be with him, whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, to the point where he's licking the bathtub.
Yeah,
after homeboy was jerking off in there. Bro, that's so fucking disgusting.
Like, you got this jerk off scene and dude's just sitting there watching it, and then the man went in there and slurped it up like it was ramen broth. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I almost threw up in my mouth.
Look, like, oh god, like he licked the whole fucking drainage hole. That's just disgusting in general.
Okay, but like, okay, so in that sense, like, what do you think they were trying to achieve by putting that scene in there? And could they have achieved that with a scene that was a little less gratuitous?
Yeah, because at the end you find out he was like, what did he say? He loved them, but he really hated them.
Yeah.
So if you hated them, like, why show the obsessity with it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it mixed to me.
It was one of those things where it's like I was trying to see, like, I get that when you see that one scene with the bathtub, you get a sense that, okay, he's unhinged. He's he's a little too obsessed.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't need any more scenes like that.
No, not really.
Yeah, you got a couple more. You get the scene with the girl out in the fucking courtyard. You get the scene at the graveyard, and I'm just like, are you just doing these things to just be salacious and to be edgy, or are they actually moving the story along?
See, and I think that's part of where it throws me off also, because I don't care who you are. Look, I ain't never heard of one female want to eat her own period blood. Look, you know what? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna be real with you. I'm talking to you. To my best friend. You know I have jokes all day long about eating pussy. You know what I'm saying? All day long. Look, nah, I don't need my beard dyed. I'm just saying.
But here's the thing: it's not even about you having your beard dyed. It's about, it's about taking the strawberry and feeding it back to the strawberry. Like, god damn.
If she willingly took it, like, oh yeah, I do this all the time. Like,
bro, she came back the next day. She put on a cocktail dress and came back the next day. Like, all right, where's this motherfucker at? I don't know.
Unless it was like a sign of control. You know what I'm saying? Like if he had that much influence by knowing how to read the people he was with.
Yep.
Like, because Amalia used to wanted pretty people. The dad was always happy. The daughter was always, in my opinion, I guess depressed, always drinking, smoking, didn't eat.
Yeah.
And he's like, you don't eat, you don't keep anything down. So tomorrow you're gonna eat, you're gonna sit there. And I mean, you ever had somebody that I guess notices you, so to speak?
Yeah.
When that happens, you're like, holy shit, somebody actually paid attention to me. And how many times does that shit lead you down a pathway of destruction?
So I get the idea that, her feeling like kind of the out on the outer banks of the family.
Mhm.
Everyone else is like all these pretty people, and she's kind of just this wild child, whatever, that no one really thinks about. She's got her own issues with the bulimia and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And you finally found someone, this guy actually acknowledges it. Like, I see you. I see who you are.
Yeah.
Whatever. So to me, yeah, that's a measure of control.
Okay.
In no part of that control do I feel like you need to stick your finger up her vagina and feed her own period blood back to her.
And then kiss her after.
And then wipe it on your lips like you're the Joker or some shit. I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, that's yeah. Mm-mm.
I love Liam Neeson.
Yep.
I rocked with him with Taken 1. I rocked with him Taken 2.
Yeah.
Taken 3, I was kind of like, all right, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And then he came up with a couple movies where he played a guy that lived on a farm
Mhm.
that kind of like saw somebody get human trafficked, and then all of a sudden he felt the need to like jump in. Like, and I watched the movie and I was just like, I want my hour and a half back. And like, it was like, what the hell is this? And it's like if the movie was written as a comedy, I'll be like, okay, this is cool. But it wasn't. It was supposed to be like an action movie, and I'm pulling up the name right now because I was just
it wasn't Nonstop, was it? Nonstop was the one when he was on the train.
Yes, Nonstop was the one when he was on the train.
Yeah.
Like, I like Liam Neeson, but it was, where is it?
Yeah. Oh, I wonder.
Oh, The Marksman.
Okay. I've heard of that. I've heard that name of a movie, but I haven't seen it.
It was so convoluted. He was a former U.S. Marine Corps sniper and Vietnam vet, and he had a dog, and like his ranch was on the border of Mexico and Texas or whatever.
Yeah.
And some kid and their mom came in. The mom got killed by some drug dealers or coyotes.
Yeah.
Which are the people that traffic people back and forth on the border.
Yeah.
And he all of a sudden, like, just like, all right, kid, I'm going to go. A kid that doesn't know him, he's like, I'm going to help you get to the States. After him being like anti-immigrant in the beginning of the movie. And it's like, and he's a rancher. Like, he gets these roles where he's a naturally speaking English with an accent. It's like, oh, I'm an American cowboy that just happens to be hella Scottish for no reason.
Oh shit! And you know who that happens to a lot is, I mean, those roles where they kind of just are the same character just in different occupations, whatever. Like, is like Jason Statham. Jason Statham gets those roles where he's like the under the radar, like, tough guy.
But Jason Statham, though, he chews up a lot of scenery in a good way, and he always brings his magic to the movies. Like, there's one movie that I want you to watch that I know the rule is to only do podcasts on movies that you haven't seen. But Wrath of Man is probably Jason Statham's best role that I've seen him in his later years.
Really?
Like,
so I know a lady who worked on that movie, and I venture to say she might have been his acting coach on that movie. I'll have to double check, but that always, I mean, I remember hearing about that movie, but it just felt like another, war, or another, what is it? The Mechanic.
No, it's like, I don't want to give you spoilers. Like, his character is it starts off you thinking it's a typical Jason Statham, but at the heart of the role is something that's very relatable, as a person that loves somebody, what lengths you
Yeah.
would go to seek revenge. That's why the movie is perfectly titled Wrath of Man.
Yeah.
And it's typically when him and Guy Ritchie, it in the beginning of their run together
Yeah.
as actor and director, they were amazing. Some in the middle were not great,
Yeah.
but this one was their return to form.
So it's a Guy Ritchie movie.
Yep.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, because I mean, I like I miss Jason Statham in the Snatches, in the Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. One of my favorite Jason Statham movies is The Italian Job, just because he got to play a comedic, he tough guy, but just the comedic side of him. He didn't need to be the guy that fucked everything up.
Yep.
What was up with the other priest or whatever? He was just reading the book, and all of a sudden he had like a heart attack or some shit.
Oh, the Pope when he was in the church and asked.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what? Speaking of that, 'cause I thought it was like a setup at first.
Mhm.
Because first he said there's an interesting case out there in shit. Okay.
See, man, these ghosts is coming after you, bro.
Shit. As long as they don't tap me on the road, I'm cool. Do what you gotta do right now. When I start driving, I don't need no trouble.
Yeah.
But shit. What was I
Take your
saying?
vitamins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, okay. At first I thought it was a setup because he said that there's an interesting case going on out there and wherever the house was or the church.
Yeah.
He said we had trouble with this before, and he said I had everything. I said he said I had all the information shipped to the library for you. Why the library? You know what I'm saying? And then he asked for the book or something that they brought to him, and then he like immediately gets possessed or whatever or gets sick. So I was like, okay, so where's this going? Like I didn't understand the connection to that unless I don't know.
Bro, did you notice that the little kid, while he's possessed, never moves his arms? He sits in the bed. He just sits in the bed like this, like sits up, whatever. He just leans his head forward, but he don't never move his arms or nothing.
Okay, yeah. I thought his arms were tied, but they didn't tie him until later.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. So here's a why moment for you. So because you said you're big on like why did this happen?
Yeah.
When the girl got possessed and turned to a little spider thing.
Why do they always do that? Ever since those Japanese horror movies like The Ring and all that shit, they've been doing shit like that.
Okay, I thought the same thing. I was like, okay, yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah, and it's like
kind of.
Go ahead.
I was like, climb up the wall, like that movie was a Legion or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that the old lady did. I was like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and like I get it. Maybe that's true. Maybe that shit happened, in like 1965, and they just been like, all right, we need to put this in the movies. But like, it seems so outlandish, and it's so like it wasn't a thing until it became a thing. That to me it makes it less scary, less authentic feeling. Like what was it? There was another thing in the movie that I thought was fucking weird. It's what is it? Was it fucking well, like when they had their mouths, when they had the characters' mouths open.
Okay, yeah.
And like they use the CGI to make their mouths like extra big,
extra longer. Yeah.
Yeah. Like why? Why did you just let them fucking open their mouth crazy? Because I think that would look scary enough.
I mean, I guess for views or whatever, shit, make it look more extreme. Which also I did find funny because when a girl hopped up, looked like supposed to be drenched in blood. Like you can tell clearly it wasn't blood. Like it didn't look like it was like remotely real at all.
Yeah. And then like fucking when they opened their mouth all wide and it was CGI, it looked like the dudes from I Am Legend, the bad guys. That's what they look like. And I was just like, it made it, like I said, it made it feel more like an action movie because now instead of creating like this scary moment for me to attach onto and get scared for, it's almost like creating a villain or a character for me to like want to see die or some shit. All right. So the story like of this movie, like how would you react if, everyone you knew had to go away in order for you to move forward in life?
Fuck him. No. Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I gotta move forward and y'all keep me here. Fuck y'all. I gotta go. Nah.
But do you feel like obviously clearly there's people out there that are, for lack of a better term, anchors, keeping you in place versus helping you move forward.
Yeah.
So for those people, yeah, I guess fuck them, like cut them off, leave them at the bottom of the ocean. But there are those people that they help your boat stay afloat.
Yeah.
And like if you have to let those people go in order for you to attain, your moment in the sun, I don't know if I could do that.
No, I mean I'm talking shit because I talk shit. But when you get those people that want to help you and hold you and everything else, you know what I'm saying? That you keep them close, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I heard DJ Khaled say something. You hug them tight, be grateful for them. But if your whole universe is dying, like, okay, before I answer this question, let me reverse back on you. If our universe is dying right now, and you could save, no, I'm not gonna ask the question. I might be offended.
Yeah, you're gonna be offended.
Unless you can say 3 people, I know two of them gonna be your damn dogs. You see my dog sitting outside right now, the new one, like, hey, go out there and cry.
I know, yeah. You got an infant out underneath the truck and
learn how to survive. I'm teaching them young that they get it now or don't get it at all. One of the two.
That's the thing. The people in my life gotta realize, like, hey, if it's between you and the dogs, sorry.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. They're unconditional love. You are what you are.
Indeed. Okay, but
Ryu just walked into his doghouse and laid down.
Shit.
Now that's better than anything you've ever done in my life. Just so you know.
Nah, that was Ryu finally saying, like, oh yes, I'm not a chicken leg anymore. I can go rest.
I be threatening him all the time. Like, Ryu, you better be quiet if I sell you for parts.
See? When you said that, he was like, I can sleep now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But nah, like if this universe was dying, like, would you want to save it? Honestly?
See, part of me goes, I would love to just throw everything away and then recreate it the way I feel like it should be. But this universe made me who I am. And I can't turn my back on that. Because I would not have the knowledge or the strength I have if it wasn't for the bullshit that the universe handed me. So, in that sense, it's like when a rapper, forgets where they came from. It's like, that's the thing that made you. I'm not saying you need to go back to the hood and engage in, fucking heinous activity.
Yeah.
Don't forget that there's motherfuckers out there that, live off of Kraft's macaroni and cheese.
Or the top ramen. Just saying.
Yep. Oh, yeah. No, don't forget that there's people out there who learn how to cook top ramen on their dashboards.
It was the engine.
But yeah, like, I don't know. Can you do you connect with the idea of like the sons trying to live their father's dream, or their father living his dreams vicariously through his sons?
Where I come from, we don't have a father. I don't know what. I don't know what kind of dreams existed. Oh shit! But
is that? I guess that's why in the hood, like, so kids fall down the traps that they go into because they're trying to follow the example set by motherfuckers in the neighborhood, and not necessarily the people who care the most about them.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I was talking shit at the same time. It's some real shit, but no, I could relate to it. I mean, even though I got a bunch of brothers and everything else like that. We never really had the idea of wanting to do the same thing or live through somebody else's dream or whatever. We just were living. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I couldn't relate to the movie, but it was still a good watch. You know what I'm saying?
But so I mean, but the idea that like it's kind of like the family business, because that's essentially what it is. The dad started a business, and then the kids are basically he's priming the kids to take over, somehow.
Mhm.
And you got the sons that are all branching off and doing their own thing, but they, through life and they all kind of gravitate back towards the family business.
Mhm.
And like you have Kevin, who's kind of the golden child. He's the one that's being primed to be the next world champion. And
Mhm.
like he's the one that dedicated himself to the family business. And then you got the other brothers who one wanted to be a musician, one wanted to be he was
Good.
supposed to be in the Olympics.
Yeah.
What was the fourth? There was a fourth one. What was the fourth one?
I think.
But there was the little brother. The little brother, the one that died when he was really young.
Mhm.
Bruh. That
Yeah.
scene. I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead, but that scene at the fucking the
The end of the
dock,
movie? Mhm.
bro. That might be one of the best, like, most emotional scenes I've ever seen in a movie.
Yeah.
Once you really understand what they're saying in this moment,
Mhm.
like, they're essentially saying, "Hey, all the brothers are finally, back together again
Yeah.
in the afterlife." Like,
Yeah.
fuck. There used to be this little community of shells that lived in this house, and they lived with this couple, and then the couple was arguing all the time, arguing, and whenever they argued, like the shells knew, like, oh shit, it's something's about to go down, so they would run into the sock drawer.
Yeah.
That's where they would hide.
Mhm.
So then one day they argued and they ran into the sock drawer, and then the boyfriend grabbed the sock drawer and emptied it all out and took off, and that's where the most of the family went.
Yeah.
So you think about that. Like, imagine just it's kind of like if a storm happens, fucking Dorothy is sitting there and the tornado comes and now half your family's gone. Like, to me, that's such a mind fuck that
Mhm.
I felt like Marcel should have been in more of a like harder state, or like he should have been a little more traumatized.
Oh yeah, but there's different parts of the movie where I think when the interview is 60 seconds, and
Yeah.
she says, "How long have you?" She said, "Been alone or been like this, whatever." And he said, "I don't." He said, "I don't count the years like you do, or I don't count time like you do. I look
Yeah.
at the buds and the leaves and everything else." You know,
Yeah.
which I thought was dope because sometimes that could be longer than time.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah,
you ever try to sit there and watch grass grow?
no, I'm sure you did. While
In
you
the military.
while you was suffering from that venom bite, you was
So I wasn't watching the grass grow. Shit, I was trying to not go to the light.
no. But he said
Yeah.
that when he said that, he was like, he goes, I count. He watches the buds in the leaves and the grass, and he goes, I don't know how long it was, but I just know that the hole in my heart every day gets bigger.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, how long has that been? He was like, oh, 2 years. He goes,
He's like, oh, that's good to know. Just change it up real quick.
But I mean, if I'm thinking about that, like, I don't know how I feel, because if you're, do you ever seen Jojo Rabbit?
Excuse me.
So Jojo Rabbit tackles kind of the same thing, but it tackles it in a much more like traumatic and heartfelt way.
Mm.
The idea that a child can be sitting there and all of a sudden they lose their family.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like it was a chance to really like ask the hard hitting questions. And I don't think the hard hitting questions ever really got asked. Or if they did, they were answered in a way that was more childlike. So you didn't really hit the emotion that it could have.
I mean, he was supposed to be a child,
Yeah, I know, but I mean, but you can write it so that like the kid talks in a way like, I don't know. I just didn't feel the impact of him losing his family as much as I thought I should.
Okay.
Like when he loses his grandma, I feel the moment when she's walking off and like kind of disappears under the sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
And then like to me that moment was awesome. But then he cries once and then he's just kind of like, I don't know. I didn't really feel him like trying to, how would he handle that kind of situation? I do have something that y'all might be familiar with,
Uh-oh.
and that is a little Wawa coffee.
Hey, listen, I moved to LA for like a couple years. Nobody knew what a Wawa was. And when I said the word, they're like, what? Wawa? That sounds stupid. Like, and I was so stressful because I'm like, y'all don't have a Wawa equivalent out here. So I didn't know what to do. Like, they have like 5 stores that are, each store might be a piece of Wawa. Wawa is like 20 stores in one.
Yeah.
So I feel bad for places that don't have that because
Yes.
Wawa is a national treasure. And if people don't know what I'm talking about, then you got to travel to a state that got it. Because
Did he know what a hoagie was?
Yeah, man, y'all and hoagies, man. Y'all can't be, listen.
I mean, hey,
In Springfield, we call them grinders.
What? No, man.
Grinders?
Listen,
The grinders.
different states have some weird names for it. Like I can guess calling it a sub because it's shaped like a submarine.
sub, but a grinder?
Sub
So
grinder.
then what the hell is a hoagie? What is a
We
hoagie?
don't know.
We don't know. We just
Oh,
grew up with it, so it just makes
Oh, you
sense.
did you just go off on a tangent about you could see why it's called a sub because it's shaped this way, but then
Because
you
it
can't
was called a
explain why it's a
submarine
hoagie?
sandwich at first. That was the original name for it. So I get why they call it a sub. Plus, it's shaped like a sub. What's a grinder?
Okay, so I'll put you on this. So a grinder, so those sandwiches were usually made back in the day for blue collar workers that were going out and doing like hard labored work, grinders. So it was grinder in going towards the people that went out and did those kind of hard jobs.
So they named the sandwich.
I can get calling a person that, but a sandwich though?
Come on, bro. Come on.
That's like New York with the chopped cheese. I'm like, yo, why y'all doing this?
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the, okay. So when I used to watch Cosby Show, Cosby used to call that, he used to call it a hoagie all the time. But I got cousins that live in Brooklyn. They always called it a hero. So it always confused me when I was watching the show. And then when I found out Cosby was from Philly, I was like, oh, okay, now it makes sense.
Yeah. I never understood calling it a hero either. Because who's it saving? I mean, it's saving your hunger, but I'm like, why they call it a hero? I don't understand. I don't get it.
I'm saving this.
You see, Damn, a hero, a grinder, a hero.
Yeah. I mean, every state has different names for stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just like a regional thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to wrap your head around, and I don't know why it's called a hoagie. That doesn't make sense. But we grew up with it, so I'm like, that's what I rock with, and that's what it is to me.
Listen, a Wawa meatball sandwich is like the best sandwich out there.
Amen.
Easily. I tell when people come down, because in Florida we got Wawa, we got Racetrack. If you go up north towards where you guys are, it's like your Wawas and your Sheets. And in the Northeast, you might have one or two Cumberland Farms, but by and large, they don't have
that one right there. What you said, Cumberland Farms?
Yeah, Cumberland Farms.
I think what's the one that's in? I think they have those in Maryland as well.
They do. I never heard of that.
I think going towards Ocean City, Maryland, I think they have a Cumberland Farms on each side of the road.
No, I know they got. I know in Maryland they got Royal Farms.
Royal. Oh God, I'm all the way off. It's Royal Farms.
What are these? Like, are they like?
So like if me and you drive to Ocean City, if we drive to Ocean City, Maryland, once we pass a certain point in Delaware, and probably 40 minutes past Delaware, you'll start to see Royal Farm.
Yeah.
Royal Farm. The same way you'll see a lot of 7-Elevens in Philly.
So a Royal Farm is like a 7-Eleven.
A high-tech one.
Yeah,
so upper class 7-Eleven.
It's closer to a Wawa than a 7-Eleven.
Closer, yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. So now that we've done some delving into this movie, did it deserve to beat Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse for best animated movie?
Honestly, I still want to say no.
Why?
Because I feel like Spider-Verse was just told so well. Not only was it told well, it cut into every Spider-Man movie ever made. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
And then I had the whole introduction of different worlds, and he was never supposed to get bit in the first place, and has to fight the vampire Spider-Man.
Yep.
And just like even when they're chasing them, he's getting away from all of them. And I don't know what he says. I don't know what he says exactly. But he says, "Yeah, but I got everybody away from the tower." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he was that good just to get into another universe, to find out he's the villain in this universe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Um,
so the reason why I'm asking this is because the one thing Spider-Man has going for it is it's a popular character, or that's
mhm,
already popular. It did have the whole all the different Spider-Man, like the little tidbits from different Spider-Man movies, like in Donald Glover showing up as Prowler, all
mhm,
this different shit. Had the crazy soundtrack. So like there's this movie with all these tips and tricks and all this high budget shit going for it. And then you got this small animated movie about essentially processing loss.
mhm.
And so like it's to me it's the difference between like does the Oscar go to the blockbuster or does it go to the artsy movie?
I mean, I don't even know how they grade these movies.
Mhm.
Because like I said, now that we're talking about, now that we've actually talked about the movie and brainstormed,
Mhm.
I want to watch it again to see if it makes more sense with what we've talked about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if I can see that message in there more clearly,
Yeah.
then the message itself, I think is dope.
Yeah.
And the message itself is better than the message in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But as far as a full movie, the Spider-Man, you know what I'm saying?
I think I was gonna say upon first view, but I've seen Across the Spider-Verse like fucking 10,000 times. But I don't know. I feel like when you're taking an original story
Mhm.
like this, like The Boy and the Heron, and when you get something like that and it makes you think and it makes you consider and it makes you get emotional and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and then you take in this other thing where it's got all these other aspects to it that'll make you like it. Like even if you don't like the movie that much, you might like the soundtrack. If you
Mm.
don't like that, okay, we got like all these. Oh, it's cool that they have all the other Spider-Men show up and things like that.
Yeah.
It has all these other things going for it, where this one's just a simple story. I don't know, because when you watch like regular movies, it's like watching. Let me see, what's another really good one? It's like watching Life of a Dog
Okay.
and then watching Transformers.
Mm.
It's like, the two different style movies, but if they're both up for Best Picture, do you go for that thing that's got the crazy explosions and the graphics and the Transformers that you grew up watching as a kid? Or do you go for this simple story about a kid trying to like, just grow up?
Mhm. But see, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how they grade or rate these movies because we don't know who's behind the scenes that are actually doing the judging.
Yeah.
Because you can have some.
Go ahead.
No, so you can have somebody that's all into the graphics and the fight scenes and everything else. But this movie was dope, which of course Transformers is dope. But then you got somebody that understands deeper meaning and likes to do that, again, do that deeper level of thinking and everything else that will find My Life as a Dog so much better than that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we don't know who's on the board because if you got some people on the board, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And 4 vote that Transformers is better, then
All right, but okay,
Transformers is better.
all right,
You know
but
what I'm
what about Chris Brown's criteria for Best Picture? Like, what do you look for in a movie that makes you go, okay, I put this movie above this movie? Tyler Perry here.
No. Because you know my favorite movie is. My favorite movie is Big Fish. You know that. No, shit. But you know what? Even though Big Fish is my favorite movie, it's not my best movie.
Okay.
In my opinion, the best movie ever made, in my opinion, is Forrest Gump.
Okay. I'll give you that.
And the reason why I think it's the best movie ever made, from even though I ain't seen another movie in the world.
Yeah.
But it dealt with so many different things
Mhm.
between the South, racism, autism, war,
Yeah.
friendship, you know what I'm saying, family, coming to terms with things with Lieutenant Dan, and like it had so much in this movie that told such a great story.
Yeah.
About an innocent kid that just wanted to do right by everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I haven't seen a movie that can tell that many things in one story and do it so good,
Yeah.
in my opinion. You know what I mean?
The algorithm again has forced me into just talking about one thing because it's like TikTok and stuff. You try to do something different and everything's like, no, we're not going to promote that. That's weird.
Yeah. I mean, like, I feel like the internet is ripe for things that are different, and that's the place where you're supposed to go to try something new. But then, you start paying attention to everything going around. You're like, oh, everybody's just kind of following each other. Like, I watch a lot of trailer reactions, a lot of like movie reactions and music video reactions, and the minute you see one reaction hit, next thing you know, like, there's tons of that same movie. And then it's not like they're dropping, months in advance and I'm just catching them. Like, they're all dropping within weeks of each other.
So for me, it was the Kendrick Lamar reaction week when he did Not Like Us. I did watch every person's reaction video for that. I don't know why. I was just like, I'm not even a reaction video. I was just hooked on that. So I get it. But again, like you said, reactions get same and we talking about the same thing. And yeah, I like to talk about different things. I do a lot of horror films. I do a lot of weird cult movies. I mean, I interviewed John Waters this year. Like, I've had a wonderful year talking about weird things.
Well, speaking of weird things, that's kind of the movie we watched this week. This week, I selected the movie because obviously EJ watches a lot of movies. So chances are, whatever was going to get picked, he'd already seen. So luckily, I threw out a title and he hadn't seen it yet, which, is surprising because it's not it's not a Coen Brothers movie, but it's Ethan Coen.
Yeah, and I seem to, spoiler alert for some of my feelings, might be a Joel Coen fan, maybe not an Ethan Coen fan. We'll talk about that in a moment. But yeah, no, look, I see a lot of movies professionally. They send me to see some. They didn't send me to see Drive Away Dolls. So I was like, I'm gonna watch it on my own time. So you made me watch it, like, not in a bad way, but you made me watch it. And I finally got around to it. I want to see a lot of the movies from this year, and this was a good one to check off for this year because it's a Coen movie. Like, it's Coen.
It's Coen, and you see Pedro Pascal on the cast list. You see Matt Damon. So I'm expecting, and Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I'm expecting, your usual Coen Brothers movie. And yeah, this is one of those movies where you gotta be. I feel like you gotta be in a specific mood, and you gotta be, just up for anything because it hits you. I tried watching this on a plane, and I had to turn it off 2 minutes in. I was like, let me wait till I get into the
That is so funny because that happened to me. I have a little one and I started it and he was going to bed, but I was like, let me just start it real quick. And I was like, oh, wow, I'm happy for the girls. You know what? I'm happy for them. They look like they're enjoying themselves. Yeah. I'll wait.
Posey's story, because like essentially she's just trying to get back at these people, but it's all about graffiti. There's not really much.
Well, at the end, the dude wanted her to make the right decision instead of killing motherfuckers. He wanted her to like keep it like clean, and because like that's why at the end when she starts writing on the blank canvas, he was like, instead of writing on the blank canvas, you should have did some good with it, like not cause beef and shit. Yeah. I thought this story. I mean, like personally, it was like Death Note in the hood for me.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. The tattoo was cool. The acting. I mean, personally, I like the acting just because of how cheesy it was, but it was pretty bad acting, bro.
My favorite is when she's like looks at the camera, she just goes like that tough look. She goes,
yeah.
Her hand. I'm like, that's because I see that in wrestling.
She watched that in Alexa Bliss Titantron. You know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, she was like, well, I need a show. And by doing, I mean, yeah, I guess you show. No, you don't even show the whole hand unless you gotta like turn her wrist like that. That's so awkward.
But I mean, the idea that like if you got special powers, and they're giving you the choice whether you can go back and like get revenge on the people that wronged you, or you can use these powers for good. And pretty much, she used them just to get back at the people who wronged her. So in doing so, it led to her, having to pay the ultimate price herself.
Get got. She ended up being her art, like live art. I think they said.
But that last mural, it was like everybody clapped, like, "Oh my god, this is beautiful."
That shit was like just red.
The big red splotch.
I mean, I guess it was her.
It looked like when someone tries to paint like a cityscape.
Yeah.
Like graffiti city, but yeah, like they just didn't finish.
They didn't finish. That's what it looked like. It didn't finish.
Yeah, but everybody clapped like it was amazing.
And then man, art's subjective, bro.
Hold on. Chris, this is supposed to be one of your favorite movies.
Look, I don't remember
that? And you getting on me? falling
No.
asleep on a movie that I don't really,
I ain't fall
Have no
asleep on it, but
attachment
I ain't fall asleep on it. But I don't remember her saying that Maximus was the baby daddy.
you're supposed to be able to recite that whole movie. That's the closest to a brother is in that movie. Got a kid that he ain't owning
And
up
on
to.
top of that, the second one. In the second one, they gave us the scene.
Oh god! I mean, yeah, the second one they gave us the scene, which, like I said, I liked the way they tied it in, but I just didn't remember a reference in the first one that there could have been something there.
It was referenced like a couple times. They didn't outright say directly.
Listen, I don't trust a man who says a movie is his favorite and can't fucking recite it front to back, side to
I don't
side.
trust a man that wears a brand of a drink he doesn't drink.
First of all, I drink Coke Zero all the time. I know you. Maybe your braids is too tight. You don't remember, bro.
Look,
I like
That's-
Coke Zero too.
that's not Coke Zero, and I don't trust no man that's under 5 feet tall. Just saying.
Wow.
Listen, the only reason you are authentic right now is because I know that's like some cheap ass gold chain you got on.
This came straight from the machine.
Yeah,
This
exactly. You got it at the truck stop. You took the dog part off, and you're like, all right, let me get.
You know what's funny about that? Just like change the subject. I done seen so many dudes walk around and dude have this big ass chain on them. Okay, he was doing something. Then a week later, I see that shit tarnished. Like, oh shit!
Yeah.
Come on, man, just take it off. Just take it off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Trying to do it. That's why I wear fucking beads.
No, you got a Haraju ring.
Let me ask you this, Mikazi. Is jewelry big in your company? Do people rock like
Yeah. Bro, fucking last night Kofi came out with a Majin chain.
is that something that he wears like for TV? I get it, but like you're not seeing him like in dinner and he's like
No, but there are people there that will wear jewelry and stuff like that, like Usos, Tez. Yeah, they
I
all.
mean, okay. So, I remember back in the day, Stone Cold always had a necklace on, and The Rock always did.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like nothing over the top, like trying to show off. It was just like their necklace. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
like baseball players. But
Yeah.
I just like, to me, like every time I see a chain out in the wild, not yours, but like a chain
He's out in the wild.
like with a piece, like like back in the like early 2090s, I'm like, where you come from? Like, are you going to a regular job like pieced up? Like,
I don't think any of them. I don't see anybody wearing anything like that. But I think most of it comes from the fact that, like, for lack of a better description, like these guys are in and out of gyms all the time, always changing into their wrestling stuff. Like sometimes it's just a hassle taking that shit on and off all the time.
Yeah.
Like you only
like,
wear.
I
it on
know,
special
I
occasions.
know it's all cultural. Like, I love jewelry growing up, like as like seeing people rock it, whatever. But I
You and your taco medallion.
I never had a chain. Like the only chain that we have, it's funny. My entire family has it. Like on my nuclear side, like me, my sister, my brother, we all had like what we call the baptism chain. The little like the only comparison is like, remember the chain that Hulk Hogan wore that Andre like ripped off, like a simple little chain with like a cross. Back in the day, that. Well, we always got that, and then like my sister has mine. Like, you know what I mean? Somehow at a certain age, it's gone because an adult took it, and they're like, "All right, you're never wearing this again." Like my nephew's got that too, and they're like in their 20s, and I'm like, "Oh man, that looks." He's like, "Yeah, we all got them." It's like they were like, "Mom has yours from you were a kid," and I was like, "Why does she got it?" It's like, "Cause you lose shit," and I was like, "That's real." Like the only jewelry I ever wear, it's not even jewelry, it's my Apple Watch. Like, and I never was a bracelet guy. Like, even if I had money back then, like in the 2000s, like if I was like a rapper, I would probably be the guy that just is super low key because
You and Big Pun would be having arguments like, I'm the only big brother in rap.
Oh man.
I wish I could rap just for my own entertainment, but I wouldn't like want to be an artist. I leave that to the profession.
Yeah.
So half these professionals ain't professional shit.
Yeah,
Not like they used to be.
Yeah. Well, anyways, that's the latest episode of Sarat and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast. Once again, it is your boy Sarat, aka Makazi.
And your boy Chris Brownick, A Red 4 Delta.
Your boy Marcos. Just want to say this is my third podcast with no technical issues.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so maybe I could go to school. Either all the kids are at school, or you
I like
got
two
your,
little fingers.
or you got your internet upgraded. Something. But I was gonna make a comment about that because I was like, all right, Marcos is stepping up. All right, we'll catch y'all next week when we come back with another movie. Actually, we're probably gonna be going to the theater for the next movie, so it'll be something more recent. So,
Are you gonna go during the day?
pretty God.
Taking vitamins before you go. Get a nap in, Grandpa.
Bro,
Oh
listen,
shit!
it is what it is. I get the movie in when I can get it in.
It sounds kind of sexual. Get it in when I can get in.
Everything's sexual, you Chris. Ho-hos, fucking snacks, fucking everything.
Yeah, I got. That's my drug of choice.
Oh, for you guys that don't know, Chris is probably a Winnie the Pooh right now. He's just wearing it.
Just slanging it, just
got a bottle of baby oil for no reason.
Oh shit! Oh man!
all right. We out.
I'm a warrior.